A very good evening to all my dear students and welcome to the lecture of Entrepreneurship Development SY Semester 3. I, Professor Shaurya Shah, warmly welcome all the students to my lecture. Dear students, in the last lecture we had studied about various kinds of growth strategies. We completed with that part and we started with the next topic, that is of your harvesting and exit strategy, right? So again today we'll be continuing with the strategies, what are exit options which an entrepreneur is having with it. Fine. So we saw in the last lecture, students, that exit strategies or harvesting strategies are the last part of your business. Fine. First you start a company, then you manage the growth of the business, that also we studied, and the last is the harvesting or exit strategy, that is moving out of your business by selling the stake. Fine. In the last lecture, students, we saw various introduction and the meaning of exit strategy also. We started, students, with the various types of 7 types of exit options which an entrepreneurship is having. Fine. So again I told you we'll be doing it in detail. In the last lecture we saw a brief idea about what all this exit strategies are about. Fine. So today we'll be starting with again one by one in detail, and then we will start with the next topic of corporate entrepreneurship. Fine. So what is the very first strategy, students? It is transferring it to the family member, right? Also known as family succession, right? Now why it is needed, why family members are involved in the business? Fine. So amongst that, many entrepreneurs want to keep their business in family long term, right? Because they want to continue their business in for a longer period of time, right? You take any example, it may be either Bajaj Industries, you have entire family of Bajaj corporates, again manufacturing and managing the entire business. You have Tatas, where Ratan Tata is also the successor. You have Ambani's, that is Reliance Industries, right? The son and daughter of Mukesh Ambani are also involved in the business, right? So what they are doing, again they are making the plans for transitioning the company to a child or another relative at a certain point of time, right? Either they are been giving it to their own son or daughter or any other relative, but the business remains in the family itself, right? Because they want to continue the succession of the business. Fine. Now again, if you are considering passing your business on to your children or family members, there are number of things that are to be considered, students, right? So before planning that thing, you need to ensure certain points while you are transferring your business to a family member, right? For that, the basic condition is to the person to whom you are transferring, right, may be a skillful person, he may be or she may be a competent person, should be committed for the future success of the business. Fine. Again, all these things are to be thought of, and then you can transfer your business to a family member and you can have an exit option. Fine. Again, this is very much required, has its own pros and cons also. The very first thing is about the advantages is your, again you can choose and prepare the person you want to continue your business when you leave, right? Now when you as an entrepreneur you are leaving the business, you can choose a person who is going to run your business, and then you can again select and develop them. Second advantage is you don't have to completely separate from your business, right? Again you can stay as an advisor, you can have a watch over your business. Say for example Infosys is there, right? Narayan Murthy and Sudha Murthy were the again the largest promoters of your Infosys Limited. Now Narayan Murthy is also one of the advisor of the company looking after the entire business. Fine. So when you are leaving the business also, you can stay as an advisor. What are the disadvantages? Amongst that, there may be two, right? The very first is you may not find a family member who is capable of taking the business the way you have run the business, right? There is a possibility that there may not be finding any such capable person. And again, the second is a process may bring a lot of emotional, financial and general stress to your family, right? Many a times it takes place there. Again, the successor, Reliance Industries Limited, Dhirubhai Ambani was the entrepreneur. The business was divided amongst the two brothers, right? Mukesh Ambani and Anil Ambani. So always there is a emotional, financial and general stress which is involved in the business when the family succession takes place. I hope it is clear to all students. Fine. So this is the very first strategy of transferring it to a family member and you can exit the business. Fine. The second strategy, students, is sale to an internal management or employees, also known as MBO, that is management buyout, right? Now what is it? students. Now there may be possibility then you are ready to exit the business. Fine, whenever you decide you want to exit the business, people who already work for you may want to buy your company from you. Right now you are satisfied, you are running out of your business. There may be some persons, competent persons in the business, they try to buy your company. Now as these individuals know you and know how to manage the organization, this exit strategy could result in smoother transition, right? Because they are aware of your business, they are aware of your vision, mission, policies, strategies, everything. The transition may be much more smoother, right? And again the loyalty of the business legacy increases, right? Again, moreover students, these individuals are already part of your business, so they know you very well and they will try to involve you also after you retire also, or after you exit the business. Fine, again they can keep you as a mentor or advisor. So that is your again sell out to a known person. Again there are certain advantages, certain disadvantages. What is the advantage for it? The biggest advantage is again you can hand over your business to someone who has experience in the organization, so again the chances of your less competent person are reduced. Second is the business legacy will remain somewhat intact because your legacy is developed since period of years. It will remain intact if the employee is from within your business. Fine, what is the main disadvantage? Again, it may not be able to find an employer or manager who wants to buy the business from you. As such they are employees, right? As such they are managers. They are not having such kind of financial resources, they are not having such kind of interest to again take over your business from your hands and to continue that part. I hope it is clear to each and every student. Fine, what is the next part? Merger and acquisition, right? We had studied this in detail students in the managing the growth topic. Fine, what is merger and acquisition? Merger and acquisition is a strategy that is related to your merging the companies or acquiring the companies by the another company, right? So students, if you are an entrepreneur, your company is either may be purchased by the other company or it may be merged with the other company with a similar company having aligned goals to your business. Fine, so you can sell out your business, you can merge your business with the another company and you can have an exit option. What is the first advantages? Again in that you will be able to have a clean break from your business, right? Because you want to take a break, you can have a clean break out of it after merging the company. The next part is again you can negotiate the terms, price and other details of your merger or acquisition. Now when you are into the merger situation, you can negotiate the price of your business, you can negotiate the other details also. Fine, again what is the most important disadvantage of it is mainly time consuming and again it is a very costly method to merge two companies, right? So when you are into the exit option, you want to take profits with you, this may reduce your profits and gains. Fine, again many a times it is an unsuccessful method because individually you may have such kind of, again we can say, prestige or legacy, but when the company is merged there are chances that clients may be lost and consumer demand may decrease, right? So that are the major disadvantages. So far students, we have studied three things. The very first is transferring your business to a family member. Second is selling it to the internal employees or management, that is your managers. Third is your merger and acquisition. I hope it is clear. Now the next part is students, is selling your stake to a partner or an investor, right? Now suppose you are in a partnership firm or you are in a various kinds of business where there are much more amount of investors, right? What you can do is, again if you are not a sole proprietor, right, it is possible for you to sell your part to either other partners or investors, right? It can be relatively known as your business as usual exit strategy depending upon the buyer. Fine, again what are the advantages? The biggest advantages, your business will remain continuing, right? It will function as usual. Next is fully and hopefully the profit of your share will be able to receive by you only. Fine, again what are the main disadvantages students? You may not find a buyer or investor who is willing to purchase the share unless and until it is a smaller firm. There are chances that other partners may purchase it, but when your business is large it is very difficult to enter into a new partnership firm. Fine, again the next strategy here is your initial public offering, right? IPO. In the last lecture also I gave you a brief idea that public limited companies issues the shares in the market so that they can earn profit out of it, right? They can earn the capital gain out of it. Fine. So again, what is IPO, dear students? IPO is many entrepreneurs dreams of one day selling their business to the public for a large profit, right? You can take the example of Reliance Industries also. Just now few weeks back the IPO of Reliance Industries came in the market. Fine. So what they are doing, they are gathering the capital from the, we can say, common public, so that they can enhance their business, or they can sell their shares to the public and transfer the ownership from their hands to the public. Fine. Again, in small business exit strategy, this method is not possible. This is for your corporate industries only, right? Because the right option or the costly financial affairs, a small business cannot afford it. Fine. Next is liquidation of the business, right? Liquidation is simply closing down your business. Fine. It is the final strategy you can adopt. Once you close your business, all the employees, it will be affected, right? It will affect your clients also, it will affect your customers also, and your service also. I hope it is clear to each and every student. Fine. So the last strategy, dear students, is filing from bankruptcy, right? As I in the last lecture also gave you the example of Reliance Industries, that is Reliance Communication, Anil Dhirubhai Ambani Group, right? Again, filing for bankruptcy is not at all an exit strategy, students. Any entrepreneur should adopt it, but if any of the policy fails, right, any of the strategy or the options of your previous above 6 points fails, then you need to start with this strategy, right? What is that? Filing from bankruptcy. Bankruptcy itself says the term insolvency, right? That you are not able to pay your debts, you are not again financially capable enough to meet all your liabilities, right? So what does bankruptcy means? You have to sell off all your assets, that is your again personal assets also. If you are into sole proprietorship, even in partnership, the liability is unlimited, so you need to sell all the assets and then you need to pay the liabilities, right? So again, this is the one of the way of exiting the business that you need to adopt, right? But this strategy is adopted only and only when the above strategy falls, and no sound businessman adopts for this policy. Hope it's clear to each and every student, right? So all these 7 exit options are with an entrepreneurship which you need to study, right? So harvesting and exit options strategies we have completed. Hope it's clear, right? So far students, we have completed majority of part of your syllabus, that is of unit 1. Fine. Moving on to the next part of your syllabus, that is corporate entrepreneurship, right? Now so far students, you all are aware with the term entrepreneurship and entrepreneur, right? So we'll be starting with the next part and the last part of your unit 1, that is corporate entrepreneurship, right? There are two terms, corporate and entrepreneurship. Entrepreneur is a general term, students, may be used for any size of business, any nature of business, but corporate entrepreneurship, when we are talking about, it is related to your big corporations, right? That is large companies or joint stock companies only. Fine. So what is it? We'll see it in detail. What do you mean by corporate entrepreneurship, students? To begin with, we'll start with the introductory part of the topic. What is corporate entrepreneurship? It is the concept of supporting the employees to think and behave like entrepreneurs within the confines of an existing organizational structures, right? So what is it basically? You are having n number of employees in your business, in your organization, particularly in your corporation, right? So what you will do is, you will motivate the employees, you will train the employees so that they also think as an individual entrepreneur, they behave like individual entrepreneur within the organizational structure, right? So this will lead to your innovations, this will lead to your creativity, this will lead to your development of new policies, new programs, new products. So again, corporate entrepreneurship is a very vital for your business. Fine. Now employees with right vision and skills are encouraged to identify the opportunities and develop ideas which lead to innovative new products, services, or even new lines of business, right? So you are having certain employees in your business, you think that those employees are having a right kind of vision, they are having such kind of skills that should be groomed upon, right? So what is corporate entrepreneurship? Corporate entrepreneurship is developing the spirit of entrepreneurship among the employees, having a right skill, having a vision to develop the new products, services, and various kinds of, we can say, product lines. Fine. Okay, now most established companies find it hard to maintain the initial entrepreneurial spirit that helped them to make it through during the startup stage, right? Again, during the startup stage, the employees and the entrepreneur both are very much motivated, right? They are having an enthusiasm to start the business. But over a period of time, students, there is a declining trend in their encouragement and in their motivation also, right? So such kind of corporate entrepreneurship is developed among the employees so that their spirit is maintained, their enthusiasm is maintained, and their zeal is maintained. Fine. Okay, what do you mean by corporate entrepreneurship, students? What is the definition we will see? It is the process of creating new business within established firms, right? So what is corporate entrepreneurship? Corporate entrepreneurship is the process within which established firm to improve organizational productivity, that is profitability, and enhance a firm's competitive position or the strategic renewal of existing business, right? So what is it all about, students? It is the process of creating new business, right, within an established firm. You are having an established firm, you are having an established corporation, you are having an established company, among which you develop new entrepreneurs, that is your employees itself, right? Why do you do it? In order to improve the organizational profitability and enhance a firm's competitive position. Now it is very much essential in today's cutthroat competition to survive in the competitors market, right? So in order to surpass your competitors, you need to improve your organizational profitability and you need to develop new innovations, new ideas, fine? Or it may be strategic renewal of existing business, right? Strategic planning we have studied in the previous lectures, right? So in order to again strategically renewing your existing business, you need corporate entrepreneurship, fine? So I hope it is clear, fine? Three things. The very first is to improve the profitability, the second thing is competitive position, and the third thing is strategic renewal, fine? Okay, now thus corporate entrepreneurship is conceived as the effort to extend an organization's competitive advantage through internally generated innovation, right? Through internally, always remember corporate entrepreneurship is an internal process, students, right? You are developing your own employees within the walls of organization. That is why it is an internal process, fine? Internally generated innovations that significantly alter the balance of competition within an industry or create an entirely new industry. Sometimes you develop your own products and then you create an innovation. Sometimes you create an entire new industry and then you start ruling the industry, fine? So for all those purposes, you require corporate entrepreneurship. Hope it's clear to each and every student, fine? Moving on, why you need corporate entrepreneur, right? What are the requirements? What are the needs for this particular thing? The very first is rapid growth in number of new and sophisticated competitors, right? As you all are knowing, students, in any industry, you start your own business, whether it is again a new product or whether it is an existing product, you are having a n number of competitors in the market, fine? And rapidly it grows. Once a new industry is also developed, within a very short period of time, in today's economy, rapid competitor development is done, right? So in order to tackle those sophisticated and new number of competitors, you require corporate entrepreneurs continuously doing innovation, continuously, again we can say, doing new inventions. The next is sense of distrust in the traditional methods of corporate management, right? There is a sense of distrust among the various employees regarding the traditional methods, right? Now you have two kinds of management, that is again traditional management and modern management. But now in today's time period, according to the change in technology, change in mindset of employees, change in skills of the employees, modern management is to be adopted, right? So again, certain employees are having a distrust in traditional methods. That is why a new corporate management methods are to be adopted. Next is international competition. Now, as you all know, economy is not related to a village or to a city or to a country, right? Now every company has to tackle with the global competition. Entire world is our competition, right? So once you are doing the business, you have to achieve global standards. So in order to gain the international competition and to tackle it, you require corporate entrepreneurship. The next is your downsizing of major corporations, right? What is downsizing of major corporations, right? Many a times it happens that the size, that is the volume of the corporation is reduced, fine? So whenever such thing happens, you require corporate entrepreneurship in order to think more, in order to innovate more, and in order to again develop more products and services, right? So for that it is required. The next and the last is your an overall desire to improve the efficiency and the productivity, right? In order to gain the new efficiency, new productivity, to order to increase the organizational profitability, as we saw, right, you require corporate entrepreneurship to develop the new methods of production, to develop the new marketing strategies, in order to develop the new services which will be provided to the consumers in order to survive in the market, in order to provide new strategies in order to tackle the competitors. You require corporate entrepreneurship. So I suppose it is clear to each and every student. Fine, just go through the points while all the needs of corporate entrepreneur students. I'll give you 5 seconds for 5 points. I hope it is clear to each and every student. Fine. Moving on, students, to the objective of corporate entrepreneurship. Right now, students, what are the objectives of corporate entrepreneurship? Just now we saw the needs. Why corporate entrepreneurship is needed, right? Now, what are the main aims, goals? Fine. The very first is to cultivate the innovation and creativity within the enterprise, right? The very first objective is corporate entrepreneur is to doing something new. Whatever existing policy strategies are going on, right? You need to again innovate them. You need to add some creativity so that you can achieve maximum profit. Again, you can do something which is not related to your competitors, which is not done by your competitors, and you can develop a new method, right? So to cultivate the innovation and creativity skills among the enterprise, you need corporate entrepreneurship. That is the basic and the first aim of it. The second is creating an entrepreneurial organization, right? Again, you are developing your employees to think more so that they can innovate. So in order to create such an entrepreneurship organization, entrepreneurial organization, you require the concept of corporate entrepreneurship, right? A feeling of innovation, a feeling of entrepreneurship is developed among the employees who are having the right vision, who are having the right skills. Fine. The next is organizing around teams, right? You are creating such kind of teams among the employees. We had studied the topic of team building also, right? So such kind of corporate entrepreneurship teams are created, having visionary people and having visionary leaders among them, right? So they guide the people who are having such idea. They shape their ideas into a new product or a new service, and their innovations and brainstorming is done, right? So out of all this, the outcome is again a innovative thing which is not yet developed in the market, and it is all because of your corporate entrepreneurship, right? So again, the objective of it is to create the teams who are into the decision making process or who are into the problem solving skills. Next is assessing the enterprises as intelligent organizations, right? Again, corporate entrepreneurship can only be implemented if the employees are dedicated, they are having the right quantity, or again we can say the right level of skills, mental thinking ability to do something new, to innovate themselves or to innovate the organization. So for that it is necessary, right? So what are the main objectives, students? The very first is to cultivate innovation and creativity. The second is creating an entrepreneurial organization. The third is organizing around teams. And the fourth is assessing intelligent organizations, right? I hope it is clear. Once again, cultivating innovation and creativity. Second is creating an entrepreneurial organization. Third is organizing around teams. Fourth is assessing enterprises as intelligent organizations. Fine. Is it clear? 4 seconds. You can go through the points. Okay, I hope it is clear. Fine. Moving on to the next part, that is characteristics of corporate entrepreneurship, students, right? Now what are the characteristics? So far you are clear with the introduction part, that you are clear with the meaning or the definition and the various needs and objectives, right? Now what are the characteristics? The very first is new business, right? Again, the very first meaning itself says doing something new from your existing part, that is corporate entrepreneurship, right? So what you are doing, students, you are developing an entire entire new business. It may be either new product line, this may be either new product, new service line. Again, we can say developing an entire new industry. So all this includes your characteristics of corporate entrepreneurship, new business. Second is venturing, right? You may start a new venture, you may venture along with the other parties. Again, you can start a JV, that is joint venture, we have already studied, right, with the new business unit, so that you can develop your entrepreneurship skills and you can enter into a new market. Next is innovativeness, right? Innovativeness is the basic crux of corporate entrepreneurship. Anything new which you are doing to the existing policies, maybe existing product, maybe existing services, that is developed by the employees, right? Those employees having the right skills, in which you develop the concept of corporate entrepreneurship, they do something new, they innovate themselves, right? Just take example of your Apple Inc. is the company which is involved in manufacturing your smartphones, right? Again, Apple started manufacturing smartphones years back with a single button on the entire screen, right? Continuously the iPhone series innovates their products, new features are added, new, again we can say, various kinds of looks are added in the iPhone, right? So the series goes on and on. You can understand the cell phone industry is a classic example of innovations, right? Today you purchase a mobile, that is cell phone, next day new mobile or the new product of that upgraded version will come into the market, right? So all this is related to the innovativeness of the employees who are thinking from the consumer's needs point of view. Next is your self renewal, right? The self renewal of the employees is needed, right? Once you try to make a new thing, then again continuously you need to renew your skills, you need to renew your thinking ability, you need to renew your decision making power, right? You have to continuously learn, then you can implement those ideas in there, right? You have to continuously study, you have to continuously research what are the needs and preferences of the consumer and how they are changing, and what are the needs and preferences which needs to be solved. Fine. The next is your proactiveness. Proactiveness is one of the biggest characteristics or the feature which is required in corporate entrepreneurs or any kind of entrepreneurs, right? What do you mean by proactiveness, students? Proactiveness means the ability of again solving the problems once the situation has taken place, right? Rather than reacting upon the situation, whatever has happened, you need to find a solution for that particular problem, for that particular, again we can say, threat or opportunity, and then you can tackle those problems, right? So that is not reactiveness, that is proactiveness which is required in a corporate entrepreneur. I hope it is clear to each and every student. Fine. So this was the characteristics of corporate entrepreneurship, students. Fine. So I suppose this part half we have completed of corporate entrepreneurship. The next part will complete in the next lecture. Fine. So far we have completed majority of your unit 1, right? Again, I'll provide you the notes in the Google Classroom. Your quiz will be coming very soon, students, so start studying it right well in advance. I'll tell you, whenever your quiz will be there, you all have to attempt those quiz. The scores you will be getting it. Fine. Notes I'll provide you in the Google Classroom. Any doubts, any queries, you can post it there. Fine. So this was the unit 1 which we are about to complete. In the next lecture we'll complete this unit, and then we'll be starting with the second unit, right? I hope today's part was clear to each and every student. Fine. This is Professor Shaurya Shah teaching you Entrepreneurship Development SY BBA Semester 3. Have a good day ahead, students. Take care. Have a nice day. See you soon.